In this video, I compiled all the Chrisaken days into this one video. If you didn't know, they would give information each day before the update came. They made some changes to both shedletsky and 1x's info on Chrisaken Day 1, and now they're both long. Day 1, shedletsky, and 1x. A creation of pure hatred. One not from this 3D plane. 1x creation was a combination of multiple factors, mainly shedletsky's exposure to the necrobloxicon in his life, and the combined hatred and arrogance from Telamon. 1x embodies everything that shedletsky hates. His arrogance, self-centered identity, selfishness, and constant drive for power. The original body that 1x was forced into by Roblox was rotted away, remembering little of their original life. For now, only a feeling of intense hatred for the world. In the early days of their creation, 1x would go to many different instances and stolen versions of sword fight on the heights, making his name known. The venom shanks, poison, and rot away at core functions within the code of people, causing them to rot from the inside. As 1x grew in power, their memories would return. Memories not of their own. A feeling of hatred for shedletsky growing with each passing day. 1x would confront shedletsky at the peak of their power, an army of minions behind her. None of the survivors understand what 1x is, nor do any of the killers. The only one who has some clue is Noli. Every time shedletsky and 1x meet, their hearts tug and beat in unison. No matter how many times 1x kills shedletsky, their hatred for them never wanes. Rejuvenate the Rotten is done as a mockery to shedletsky, a showcase of how powerful 1x is compared to their lesser half. The embodiment of a second chance. Shedletsky joined the admins as a creative director early on. His love for creation was something others could only inspire to be. Shedletsky would grow close with Dusekar and Builderman. The creation of sword fight on the heights kicked off a high in his life, continuing to innovate and even participate in his own game under an alias, Telamon. During these early years, shedletsky would fall for a woman by the name of Bright Eyes. The two married not long after. As sword fight on the heights continued to grow in popularity and Telamon became more of a focus, shedletsky would slowly abandon his duties to focus on his swordsmanship. After the attack on Robloxia by a very powerful individual, Telamon would be the person to bring up the idea of the swords, basing them on his world, which would lead to a handful of them being created. As Telamon became more arrogant and powerful, Dusekar and Bright Eyes would begin to grow worried. A series of events would unfold, leading shedletsky to perform a selfish act, one which separated himself from his hatred. Shedletsky and Dusekar would grow close, seeing one another as brothers. A promise between the two would be made, one of growth and change. Dusekar and shedletsky created Illumina together as a showcase of this promise, his favorite weapon. Dusekar kept it with them for now. Shedletsky entered a chicken contest on his way home with Bright Eyes. He won. When it comes to the realm, shedletsky tries his best to keep the mood of the survivors up. Shedletsky is seen as a goofball to the rest of the survivors. Shedletsky would rather risk his life for others than be selfish again. Shedletsky is terrified of 1x, not telling the survivors about their origin, wanting them to trust him, not hate him. Despite his hatred being separate now, he's still human, feeling hatred and anger, but most of the time, choosing to act on good intentions rather than bad ones. Shedletsky does not hate 1x, but he does not like that side of him. Day 2. Noli. The killer with the single longest development cycle. Noli ran a one-man show back in his prime, entertaining many people. Always tried to bend the rules in his favor, ever so slightly. He craves attention, wanting to be the star of the show. Noli's crown is an item he scammed off of someone. Noli's disappearance from Roblox systems was both a curse and a blessing for his reputation. All of the admins hate Noli. Noli inspired many hackers after his big show, inspiring the likes of 007 and 7. Noli went through 3 moveset reworks before settling on the current one. In one of his movesets, Noli would have been able to duplicate void stars as traps. Noli joined Forsaken by his own choice, being given a chance to perform on the stage of a lifetime. Noli's hallucinations have been tweaked and changed more times than can be counted. Noli was originally planned to break the game in a handful of ways, but this proved to be a major balancing nightmare. Day 3. Builderman and Dusekar. Some of the first Robloxians. Dusekar is a Robloxian closely entwined with magic and creativity itself. Builderman, alongside a close friend of his, helped build modern-day Robloxians exactly how they wanted to. Builderman is humble to the end. Despite his power and wealth, he cares plenty for those around him. Alongside shedletsky in the past, Builderman made a promise to another close friend, hoping they're doing okay. Dusekar is close friends with shedletsky, being there for shedletsky at his lowest. If you try to remove Dusekar's pumpkin, they get very antsy. Both were taken before the war kicked off. Builderman always wondered why Jane and John went on leave for so long. Builderman is picky when it comes to food, especially pizza toppings. Dusekar doesn't really understand how they can eat stuff. Despite their troubles, Dusekar doesn't mind people like Taff, only really feeling uncertain around 2-time. Dusekar knows more than he ever lets on, keeping most information to themselves in order to protect others. Day 4, Slasher and Guest 1337. Guest's death completely changed the trajectory of the war. It stagnated for far too long. Unlike Taff, Slasher is mute by choice. If Slasher tried speaking again after all these years, their voice would be dry and raspy. Guest 1337, and Slasher could have been good friends had they met before the war turned Slasher into this. The Necrobloxicon has been around for a very long time and has ties to a great evil. Slasher's breakout was coordinated by the Operator alongside the other prisoners of the facility. 1337's perception of Slasher changed the first time he saw Slasher's face. Guest has always had a big heart. When it comes to saving a fellow survivor at the expense of his own life, Guest will always choose to protect others, no matter who it is. There was another attempt someone made to free Slasher before the big Area 51 breakout. It was not successful. The Spectre's influence has nothing to do with the voice Slasher hears. Guest is very open-minded, understanding when people do things they're not proud of. Day 5, Part 1, 007N7. When alone, he sometimes thinks about what he would have turned out to be had he never changed. He made the GUI himself when he was a young adult who wanted to have some fun in his life. He had a massive ego. He often felt a rush of excitement causing havoc and mayhem wherever he went, loving the thrill of it all. He commonly used his exploits for arson, vandalism, destruction of public property, theft, and more. He was hesitant to even consider raising a kid, but he reluctantly took Cool Kid under his wing. Over time, he started mellowing out as he began living under a low profile. He has minor problems with his eyesight that he stubbornly refuses to have checked out. The tiny heads on his burger are a type of spider he adopted because he thought it was cool. He has considered going back to his past way of life once or twice before. He forced himself to learn how to cook, but mostly buys packaged food anyways. He had tweaked his current GUI pre-Forsaken to be more for convenience rather than harm when he was raising Cool Kid. Whenever he spotted Cool Kid with his old GUI, he'd have to hide it again somewhere else. If he ever met his past self, both of them would be disgusted by the other's lifestyle. Day 5, Part 2, Cool Kid. Leader of Team Cool Kid, a group for rebellious and/or troubled misfits to cause chaos and mayhem while spreading the word in the process. Word of mouth helped the group reach out to more people, causing negativity to stir in some, while others felt inspired to join. He has the older, harmful version of the GUI. He was able to slip past his father multiple times to continue his shenanigans, but would be caught every now and then. Team Cool Kid upped the ante from petty theft and vandalism to things close to N7's prime when Cool Kid acquired the GUI. Members did the handiwork while Cool Kid typically handled the more complex plans with the GUI. He enjoys sweets, confectionaries, desserts, and the likes. A firebug. Loves the open flame and the warmth it brings. Upon Cool Kid's disappearance, most of its members tried to keep the group going, but it lost its spark. Naturally mischievous, even when he was younger. Enjoys the rides and games at the carnival he was given, having shaped it to his image. Would love to hitch a ride on a Draco Bloxer one day. He's terrified of the myth surrounding John Doe, as well as the gunk coming out of his body. Day 6, Nosferatu. Nosferatu was concepted from the Vampire Bundle. Nosferatu is a person of color. Nosferatu was concepted and worked on in late September, said to be a bite-sized killer. Nosferatu was inspired by Rivers is a Vampire by Bear Ghost. Rather than an infatuated self-view like Noli, Nosferatu has a grandiose arrogance of self-importance. As stated by Striga, the lore NPC, true vampires are cursed, forced to drain the life of other Robloxians. Their curse was caused by the Necrobloxicon, which remains with a certain brute. If the two were to meet, it would be a bloody conflict. The best teased Nosferatu since September. This sucks. Nosferatu's personality was originally going to be similar to Arthur Bennett from JRWI. Despite his in-game abilities, Nosferatu is canonically weaker compared to other killers. Nosferatu made a deal with an agent of the Spectre, similar to another well-known character. Day 7, Part 1, Chance. Chance had everything he could ever want, but was a thrill seeker. Their confidence is astronomical, never fully wavering. He enjoys his games of chance and high stakes, able to take a loss or two as they know they'll just win it back tenfold. The flintlock was a weapon that a friend suggested he should buy, one he would later end up enjoying greatly. Due to his arrogance, most didn't want to be seen next to them, except for one person in particular. His lack of true friendship from before made it easy to miss Eye-Trap's true intentions. Eye-Trap needed a person who knew people, and someone like Chance was perfect. Having fled as his two friends got banned, Eye-Trap needed to find a way to get them out somehow. Now, having the prize, his expression was the first time Chance felt true fear. Chance has a wide array of business connections to gather and trade for his wealth and limiteds, some of it leading to the black market. After somehow winning the grand prize in a rigged game from a mafia, he's had a target strapped on his back ever since. They love rabbits and the natural charms they have in luck. Believes in a lady of luck blessing them for life. Their main goal in life was to fully live out all the experiences the world had to offer, no matter how expensive or dangerous it was. Known by the other survivors as extremely reckless and for putting themselves and sometimes others in constant danger. Their coin flip is a habit he's done ever since he started gambling. He enjoys cold desserts. None of the others have ever seen him take anything seriously. Day 7, Part 2. Elliot. He's had many co-workers during his time in the pizza place, but only he has stayed the longest. His scooter got bent up and broken badly when he arrived in the Spectre's realm, and he's been working on trying to get it fixed ever since. He often thinks about what his family is doing without him, especially his sister. His mother has long since passed on. It's hard for him to truly hate anyone. He takes after his father, able to work around or find a good solution to any accidents or mishaps that would occur back in the pizza place. His sister likes to dress him in accessories when he's not at work, and they'd take photos together afterwards. He loves to do anything he can to help with work, even if he's tired. He doesn't want to end up relying too much on his family's fortune, opting to earn his wealth instead. He likes to whistle while he's working, especially if it's not a busy day. His family had a pet horse when he was younger. Really wishes that exploiters and troublemakers would stop treating the pizza place as a hotspot for their actions. He knows how to play guitar, he just doesn't have a proper schedule to keep practicing. He's a big holiday enjoyer, able to dress for any holiday occasion consistently. He keeps himself occupied by doing chores or tasks around the cabins. Whenever the pizza place was affected by exploiters, his dad would urge for him to take a break whilst he took care of the aftermath, with the length depending on the severity. Day 8. Two-Time. Two-Time, despite being in the cult, isn't close with the other cultists. They are frequently excluded from routine rituals and meetings. Two-Time struggles to actively take care of themselves and frequently relies on others to assist in helping remind them to clean themselves. Two-Time is shorter than the other cultists and survivors. They're about 5 feet 3. Azure is 5 feet 11. Two-Time enjoys reading. Two-Time is not their real name, but a nickname given to them by Azure after they met. Two-Time really likes scented candles, as it calms them down. However, they're too scared to light them themselves. Two-Time met Azure in the woods once when fetching lumber for the cult, initially mistaking him for some kind of beast. Azure's hobby was botany. Despite not being a qualified doctor, he is very knowledgeable in herbal remedies. He often took care of Two-Time when they fell ill, as well as the other cult members. Day 9. Veronica. Her full name is V33, R401, N337K. Part of an experimental branch of Helper RO-bots, meant to be the successor to Helper bots. Never came to full production due to costs and general growing disinterest to guide-type bots by the people of Robloxia as a whole, with only 5 prototypes each assigned to a different niche being made. 2 of the 5 bot prototypes have gone defunct, and 1, Veronica, has gone completely missing. Wishes she had an actual audience to teach skating. Views Builderman in very high regard due to his engineering skills, referring to him as Sir Builder, and his machines as companions. Her voice is kinda bit crushed and would get more distorted and crunchier the lower her battery got. Sometimes pretends to eat Elliot's pizza by slapping it on her face. Type of a person try and perform several life-threatening acts consecutively for a mere $2. Uses very outdated slang, even during general conversations. She comes with a built-in MP3 player, which is where the skate music she emits comes from. Sometimes talks with herself in the mirror. She cracks her screen pretty often due to falling over from failed tricks and general clumsiness, but it does not affect her much physically, as the screen's only purpose is displaying her emotions. Huge fan of alt-rock. She would play with fingerboards if given the chance. Day 10. Taff. Taff is a vigilante inspired by the admin's work to help clean up Roblox. Taff looked up to Builderman in specific in an extreme parasocial way. He would primarily target unmoderated games after the admins began to fall. Their demolitions would often have consequences, leading to the death of several sentient NPCs. Eventually, Taff would be targeted by both the public and the local law enforcement. Paranoid, Taff barricaded themselves indoors, hoping they would all disappear. Taff has trouble eating. In-game, Taff talks in emojis, but in universe she uses sign language or stays silent. Taff can play a variety of instruments, mainly string. In his free time, she enjoys painting and music. They will never have a canon unmasked design. Taff was technically in development the longest, being a playable survivor since launch. The name Taff is a self-given alias. Day 11, Noob and Guest 666. Instead of long lists of information, a diary of Guest 666 was shared.
Noob and I have been setting up for the holidays, and it's been really fun. I've helped them decorate their home nicely ever since the snow started to fall. Today, we hung lights right outside, wreaths too. When we ran short of decorations, we stopped for a short while to make a snowman. A while later, I went out to grab some more festive stuff, and was surprised coming back to see them greet me in sign language at the door. It was really sweet. Made me want to teach them more of it to them soon. I plopped the things on a table, and we decided to head inside for now, watching Tack sleep by the tree, as Noob told me many things about their old hobbies. All the while, I drank some of the hot cocoa they gave me. In their rambles, I didn't even register that one of their chats was about a gun. I never even knew they had a firearm, but I guess I'm glad they rarely used it. The night went by slowly, and Noob looked sleepy while we were watching a movie. It was funny looking at their expression, so I tried not to giggle as I shook them awake, presenting them with a small gift box. Inside was a cat toy for our little furball. Noob and I had a nice time watching Tack play with their new toy, the snow outside getting thicker as we eventually lazed back into the couch to watch some shows. We got tired as more time passed by, and we ended up falling asleep right there though. We waved goodbye again by the next day. I want to visit them again soon. It was really fun. Also, I should probably get a new journal too. This book is running out of pages.
Noob, the newest member of a small friend group. They sit by the docks sometimes in reflectance, reminiscing about easier times. They have a tendency of spacing out. They spent a lot of money for their cat. Every now and then, they had a multitude of different hobbies. They like pepperoni. Gender fluid prefers only they, them pronouns. Sixer. She liked to write and do whatever interested them. They can and will bite anything that tried to pet them. He does not forgive Noob for leaving him behind. They enjoyed engaging with Noob on their hobbies back then. Gender fluid, any all pronounsel. She went through a small redesign before their update. Day 12. John and Jane Doe. John and Jane were both employees of Roblox HQ, mostly testing faulty code. John worked a simple desk job and Jane focused more on field missions. John liked socializing, while Jane usually kept to herself outside of work. John tried pushing Jane to go to social gatherings often. If you asked him, John would tell you that Jane Doe was the best thing that ever happened to him. Jane's intense drive for answers could sometimes cloud her better judgment. John was the opposite, easygoing and lacking personal drive. It made him the perfect vessel. The corrupted growth on John's body behaves similarly to a fungus. It's alive in its own strange way. All kinds of rumors spread around after what happened March 18th. Some believed his wife was behind the disappearance. Others believed John was plotting to one day come back and take over Robloxia. That day affected no one more than it did Jane. Jane had earned the rather unflattering nickname Mold Girl due to the strange black substance that started growing around her house. John's identity and memories are slowly being ripped away from him, siphoning back into the corruption's own mind. Aside from looking worse for wear, passing Robloxians would notice a change in Jane's demeanor the few times she was caught outside of her home. Not defeat, per se, but a newfound determination. Little murmurs about fixing everything. Jane entered the Spectre's realm differently than any other survivor, finding herself in a place of scattered parts and memories. The forced smile on John's face comes from the corruption trying to revert his body to a default, dummy state. John's corruption is rooted inside of his body. If you were to completely separate it from him, John would die. Jane has a one-sided distaste for the admins. And that is all of it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.